So guys, this is the new Audi Q8. In fact, not all new, it's a facelift, but quite an extensive facelift because it's not just about some nip and tuck job, but it also has new tech. Now let's talk about the design first. When you look at the front, like I said, it's a facelift, so it's not like a huge change from the older Q8, but you'll see the grille is new and it's got this new pattern. Just makes the SUV look a bit more dynamic, bit more aggressive, and adds that flavor of dynamism in the overall design. Also, these headlamps, these LED units, these are all new and these are actually customizable. I'll talk about that later and I'll show you how you can change the design of the LED at the click of a button. But that, and then you've got also these very good looking alloy wheels on the side, and also these red calipers. And when you add to that a sharp looking overall design along with nice looking good new tail lamps, all of it put together gives the Q8 a sporty design. And of course, like I said earlier, it's not a huge breakaway from the older Q8, but this just looks a bit more evolved, a bit more sportier, and a bit more expensive. And that's exactly what you want from a flagship SUV, to look expensive. Now let's move on to the interior. And well, once you get inside the cabin of the new Q8 facelift, you realize, well, why it's called a facelift, because it's not all new. So it's quite similar to the older Q8, but yes, of course, you'll see some of the panel layout is new. Also the seat upholstery pattern, well, that is new. And then when you look at the overall touchscreen, the user interface of the infotainment system for the instrument cluster and this screen, that has also been updated. So now it's a bit more slick, has more features, but that's about it. Also, when I'm talking about the interior, let me tell you that overall it is a very good looking interior. It gets a massive panoramic sunroof. Beyond that, you also get seating for 3 people. However, it's best suited for 4 people, and you have a good amount of leg room too. The seats themselves, I can tell you, are very comfortable, and you can use them for seating 4 people and going on a long drive. Well, for that purpose, I think the Q8 will do everything with ease. Also, the instrument cluster itself is quite detailed. It gives you nice clean readouts of everything. This is one interesting feature here. It shows you how much fuel is your air conditioning unit consuming per hour. So right now you can see it's about a quarter liter, so maybe about 200-250 ml in an hour. So that's not much. Pretty good for an air conditioning for a vehicle of this size. Also, these screens are pretty slick, very easy to use, feature loaded. And one of the key functions is about the lights. Now, of course, I told you that the headlamps, the tail lamps are new, the tail lamps are OLED, but the headlamps have a very cool feature. So if you just go to car and then you go to lights and vision, go to exterior lighting, then you go to the digital light signature, well, there you have it. Like I said, you can change the way the LED pattern of the car looks. So now I can basically choose from here to this. You can see the design has changed. Now again, the LED pattern has changed, or this. So you can choose a different LED design based on your mood or on a different day. It basically just gives the car a different look and brings some freshness to the design on a regular basis. So this is something which is really cool. I really like this feature. And the headlamps, of course, these are laser headlamps. They work really well. The visibility is excellent and they will light up the road brilliantly while ensuring that people coming from the front, the oncoming traffic, is not dazzled at the night. So safety is also taken care of. So now let's talk about the driving part of the Q8 and the hardware. Well, first of all, not much has changed, and it's the same engine. So you have a V6 turbocharged petrol unit, which gives 340 PS of power, 500 Newton meters of torque. All of this power is sent to all four wheels. Of course, it's an Audi, so there's a Quattro system. All four wheels are fed power through an 8-speed automatic transmission. And how does all this work in the real world? Well, to start with, right off the line, the engine, the way the calibration has been done, the electronics, everything, they mask the turbo lag very well. So right from the word go, you've got almost no perceivable turbo lag. And once you're off the line, acceleration is strong. It is in line with what you would expect from a comfortable big SUV that promises to be dynamically sound. So it is very much in sync with that kind of a positioning. So you've got a strong buildup of acceleration, and it can easily go 200 and beyond. But highway performance is great. So even when you're at high triple-digit speeds and you want to make that quick overtaking maneuver, it always has enough power in reserve. The transmission has been paired to the engine very well, as a result of which, the shifts are pretty quick. The upshifts, downshifts, all of it is pretty quick. Keep in mind, it's not a sports car, so it's not sports car quick, but yes, for a luxury SUV, it is quick. And if you want to make it even better, well, you can just put the gearbox in sports mode, and or you can take control using these paddle shifters. Keep in mind though, a slight downside to all of this is that even though you might take control using the manual shifting, the gearbox will not allow you to hang on to the rev limiter. So the moment you hit about 6,500 RPM, the gearbox will upshift despite you being in manual mode. So yeah, if you love driving, that can be a bit of a downer. But on the upside, the engine revs cleanly right up to 6,500 RPM, where it makes the upshift, and it emits a pretty nice sound. It's not a loud exhaust. It's pretty muted that way, because this is not a sports SUV. If you want a sports SUV, you would go in for an SQ8, RSQ8. They're not on sale right now. But with this, it lets you know that there is a good amount of performance in the car. But beyond that, if I talk about the ride quality is pretty sorted. Especially, you can choose from different modes, and once you put it into the softest or the most comfortable mode, in that mode you get a very supple ride quality. One of the things that I really liked about the Q8's ride quality is, not just now, even when I drove this in South Africa, it's that the suspension has been set up in such a way that even when you're traveling at a high speed, say you're doing high triple-digit speeds, and there are road undulations like you have on many of our highways, the lateral movement in the car is minimal. It doesn't move around like many other cars in a similar price bracket would. And that just makes the experience, the occupant experience, very comfortable, especially over long journeys. Because at the end of the day, no one likes being moved around unnecessarily. And in this, that movement has been controlled beautifully well. Handling, well, it's dynamically a sound SUV. It's got Quattro, so it's got grip from all four wheels, and combined with the soundly engineered chassis, what you get is an SUV which, despite being of this size and weight, doesn't shy away from corners. So it doesn't mind taking corners at a rapid pace. And yes, of course, it's a tall vehicle. There is a fair bit of body roll, but it's never out of control till the time you don't overdo it. And at the end of the day, what you get is an SUV that is comfortable to drive. It's, again, fun to drive when you want it to. It is comfortable for the occupants. So anyone at the back seat too, or your family members, are going to enjoy the drive and the ride quality. So on that front, it's a very sorted vehicle. Of course, being an Audi, it gets a lot of safety features, active and passive. So at this price point, and as an Audi flagship SUV, it's loaded with features. Even the cabin is loaded with features, comfort, which I spoke about earlier. And in terms of price, well, you can see in terms of pricing, the price is on your screen right now, and it hasn't changed much. The changes, like I said, are mostly limited to design, new lighting techs, a bit of software changes, a bit of changes here and there. And for all of this, you pay about 10 lakh more than the older Q8. And for the price, I think the Q8 offers good value for money in terms of, like, not absolute value for money, but it offers you good novelty. So in a sea of luxury SUVs, or in your circle where your peers, your friends, your relatives would be having different luxury SUVs, which are quite common, the Q8 would certainly stand out in such a crowd.